Good afternoon to you viewers and welcome to the show I see the hot right here on Active Citizens. My name is Ifoma Oji and joining me via Zoom, I have a full house online. I have the first person, my co-host, Miss Sharon Enemchuku. Good afternoon, Sharon. How are you doing this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Ifoma. Good afternoon, Nigerians. I'm very well, thank you.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year once more.
Yes, same to you.
All right, we equally have Miss Genevieve Okeke joining us via Zoom. Good afternoon, Genevieve. How are you doing? Genevieve, are you there? All right, now still.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes. Good afternoon. Hope you're good this afternoon.
I'm fine. Likewise. How are you?
All right, I'm great. I'm doing great. Now, still joining us via Zoom, we have Mr. Ugochukwu Afuba. Good afternoon, Ugochukwu. How are you doing? And Happy New Year.
Good afternoon. A Happy New Year to you too. I'm doing great.
All right.
Great. I trust you are good. So.
Yes, I am. I can't wait to hang the boots today. Like, I can't wait. I want to go and do my own oblate, to be honest. So I'll leave you guys from next week. Yes. All right, let's go straight to the stories for this afternoon. Now, Senate President Akpabio has withdrawn all defamation lawsuits filed against several individuals, which includes the senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpabio, saying his decision followed reflection inspired by a New Year sermon. Now, in a statement, Akpabio said the message of forgiveness and reconciliation prompted him to instruct his lawyers to discontinue the cases, some of which involved high-profile political figures. Now, the move brings to an end multiple legal actions that had raised concerns about the use of defamation suits by powerful public officials against critics. Now, while supporters see this as a gesture of peace, others argue it reopens debate around free speech, tolerance of dissent, and the responsibility of public office holders to engage criticism without resorting to litigation. Let's take a look.
Must end here in this church today. And you will move from here into the realm of the spirit and face Nigeria and what God sent you to do. I want to assure the priest that I have heard. And because of what you said here, I had almost 9 cases in court against some individuals, against people who defamed me, who lied against me, who slandered my name, and all. But listening to the priest, I suddenly realized he was talking to me. So I hereby direct my solicitors to withdraw all lawsuits against them.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful amnesty granted to a lot of people that he has filed, defamation charges against. I'll start with you, Sharon. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is a political calculation. Do you agree with that school of thought?
All right. So I just saw that video recently from Akpabio. And honestly, it's the fact that I don't even know where exactly he was at. I don't know if that's a church.
Yeah.
Because I saw he was at there was a podium that clearly stated the Senate President of Nigeria. So I don't know if he went to a church.
Yeah, it's a church.
I don't know if he heard that particular sermon. The thing still remains, I think a lot of people or some people actually prepared she was to really fight these people in court. And even when she went to answer and appear before the court and nothing happened, it was adjourned, it was postponed. I don't think Akpabio acted because of what he heard in his sermon. I think this was already pre-planned, and this was nobody touching him or no someone touching him. All of this thing is just politics. I think what is really appalling is the fact that they always find a way to drive religion into all of this to make themselves look better. So yeah, I think this was already planned for now.
Ugochukwu, do you think so too?
No, I don't think it was pre-planned. I have contrary views to what Sharon just said.
All right.
I think it's the Senate President, Senator Akpabio's, would I say, kind of, it was a Macy, a New Year goodwill to people he had lawsuits with in court. I think it was just spontaneous. It was just out of the blue. It's not much of a big deal anyways. And I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with politics. But actually letting go of all those suits is, it shows a sign of leadership that people can actually, when you are in positions of leadership, people will actually come after you, and you have a responsibility to settle amicably with those people rather than dragging them always to court. Now, I'm not trying to say that when someone defames you or slanders you, that you should not take legal actions against those persons. The point I am simply making is that as a Senate President, you have to sometimes show these attributes in you that you are, you can be critiqued, and it's normal in democracy.
But do you actually think that these defamation cases or this suit filings that he has filed against people that have defamed him, that it's actually true? Because I remember Natasha, Senator Natasha, the senator representing Kogi Central, came out one time to file suit against the Senate President for, a lot. It involved a lot of charges involving including sexual harassment, and the list goes on. And now he has filed defamation cases. Do you think that these defamation cases, now that he has granted amnesty to right now, that they were actually truly defamation cases against him? Or because you said right now that it's just him trying to let go of the past in the spirit of the new year. But do you actually think that people really truly defamed him?
Of course, when you are in places of authority, people will slander you on and on. But about the case on Senator Natasha and the Senate President, Akpabio, it is something I would not like to express my views openly on, because I have this opinion that he who alleges should prove. And it was Senator Natasha who came out to say that to accuse the Senate President of sexual harassment. So I feel the burden of proof lies on her and not even the Senate President. But I do not wish to speak on that case. I was not there. I don't know what transpired between the both of them. But what I'm saying now is that now that he has kind of let the case to rest, I mean, it's a win for everybody.
All right. Now, Genevieve, coming to you right now, do you think that this is finally a truce? Do you think this is finally a closure from the whole conflict that the Senator Natasha and Godswill Akpabio have been having for months now? You remember the time that she was suspended? She was given that should be 6 months suspension from her position. Do you think this is actually a closure, or are we still seeing more fights brewing between the senator and the president of the Senate House?
Okay. To be honest, it's not any closure, or it's not a truce, because the issue between Senator Natasha and the President Akpabio is far beyond just a mere issue. I feel like it's a general thing that has to do with the Senate House, especially. I don't want to bring it down to the I don't want to generalize it, let's say it's because of she's a woman. But until Senator Natasha is given the respect that she's supposed to be given as a senator in the Senate House, there will still be a lot of issues, because I've seen past cases, Senate meetings that they have done, and maybe senator, the ones that she even called a prayer, how they react to all that, until she's giving the respect supposed to be given as a senator, until she's been equalized, come together, they see her as an equal, like a senator that she is, there will still be more issues. And if I'm to speak on him counseling or closing the lawsuit, where is the defamation? Who defined him or what? Where is it? I still believe, and I think I stand with Sharon.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you.
It is a politics play, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Genevieve. Personally, I think that was a defamation. For you to come out to say that the Senate president harassed you sexually, you ought to prove it. And if you cannot prove it, then obviously it is slander against the Senate president. That is what I feel. You were asking me.
I don't think you have the legal backing to come out and really say that, right? You said rightly in the beginning that it is up to Senator Natasha to prove what she's saying, that she was sexually harassed, right? Now coming out now to just say out of the blue without the case being tried and without a judge giving a judgment or passing a judgment on that particular case, I just think it's unfair. I don't think we as a civil society can just walk up and decide who was defamed.
All right.
No, what do we understand by defamation? Defamation is
exactly.
When you... So, like I said earlier, I do not want to express my views on this.
All right.
Like I say, it is good now that the case is out of court.
All right. Well said. Let's move over to the next story for today. Now, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has reacted to allegations of terrorism financing linked to his administration, now describing the move by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission as persecution and an attempt to criminalize him for refusing to defect to the ruling party. Now, Bala Mohammed has firmly dismissed speculation that he plans to defect to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Now, speaking amid rising political tension, the governor said he would not abandon the People's Democratic Party, describing pressure to defect describing the pressure to defect as intimidation. Now, Governor Mohammed insists that political loyalty should not be driven by fear or convenience, especially at a time when party defections have become increasingly common ahead of the 2027 general elections. Now, his stance places him among a shrinking number of opposition governors resisting alignment with the ruling party, raising questions about political pluralism, voter trust, and the health of Nigerians' democracy. Let's watch the video.
Up to an occasion where I was told that I'm being accused of terrorism as a governor. Someone who is the head of the opposition. My commissioner has been kept and will not be released by an EFCC. Even when I have immunity as a governor, my name was stupendously mentioned in a motion in a court of law in Nigeria. Me, Bala Mohammed. This is a country where when you walk, you become a villain, you become an idiot. I have kept quiet for too long, just for peace and security. Because as politicians, we should not overhate the polity. But I'm not a coward. I'm just keeping quiet because of the common people. The APC-led federal government think they can use the courts, the institution of government like the EFCC, to persecute and prosecute Nigerians that are not within their own party. If they don't stop, we are going to declare war. I assure you we are not going to keep quiet any longer. I won't allow anybody to criminalize me because I'm not in their party. And I refuse to join their party. And I will not join their party.
So he said that he has been accused of terrorism because of the fact that he is not in APC. Now, Sharon, I believe you are my co-host and you already know what we discuss every day about this defection and this whole thing of when you refuse to defect to a particular party, EFCC will dust your book and then open for everybody. It's either it's going to be a lot of charges or counts counts against you. But let me have your take on this particular one, because Bala Mohammed is accusing EFCC and accusing the federal government of using EFCC as a tool to coax him into joining APC.
You know, this is not even something that demanded a press conference, because everybody can see that this is what the present administration is doing, using institutions to prosecute opposition and people that are just generally not in their party. So like I said in the morning show, I have not seen anywhere, right, where we are practicing democracy and the ruling administration is so scared of having a fair competition. What this present administration wants is for nobody to oppose the president come 2027, and it's not democratic at all. Now, for Bala Mohammed coming out, I smiled from ear to ear when I saw that, and in my mind, I'm saying, well, it's about time, because we can't continue to have people try to override a certain group of people who do not have similar ideologies and opinions. That's what life is about. There are different spices, there are different opinions, different ideologies. We don't all have to agree to the same thing to coexist. And I think what the APC government is doing is making life unbearable for people who do not have similar ideologies. And that is unacceptable.
Well said. Now, I remember when ADC, or rather APC, was created, that should be Adams Oshomole. He said that so long as you are in APC, that all your sins are forgiven. And we've seen troops in recent times, a lot of people defecting to APC, and a lot of people that they've opened their cases in EFCC when they weren't in APC. We've seen those cases. It has finally, gone down the drain. Nobody is talking about them. But let's talk about this, because the governor of Abia State has equally said the same thing, that he has been coerced. A lot of people are trying to tell him to join APC. Now, let's talk about the fact that he stood his ground. Let's talk about the fact that this Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi State, still stood his ground, that he's going to remain in PDP, and governor of Abia State said he will remain in Labour Party. Let's see a situation whereby we have other governors insisting to drive development, social development to their party without having to defect to central power or align with the central power. How would that look in Nigeria or the political space? Let me have your take on that, Mr. Ugochukwu.
Like I've always said, for democracy to thrive in a country like Nigeria, there must be the existence of a competent opposition, a strong opposition that is capable of constructively critiquing the flaws of the government in power. That is one. And now, that is not what Nigeria have now. In fact, I've always had this stance that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is so obsessed with re-election. In fact, he wants the existence of opposition to be completely annihilated. He wants everyone to be on his back. And that is, this is a way destroying democracy. Because when we just have a one-party system, that means the will of the people are no longer being reflected. But then everyone is just trying to reach out and have a share of the national cake. But in this particular case, I think it is a very tricky one between the allegations the governor Bala Mohammed has come out to make. The reason why I say it is tricky is because Governor Bala Mohammed is not an honest man at that, because he has had cases with the EFCC even before he became governor. And now, let me finish. I'm not trying to defend what the federal government is doing. I'm just saying the facts, the way it is, that this particular case is tricky, because the governor of Bauchi State, before, in fact, he was facing trial in, I think that should be 2020, before he won the election, in 2022, before he won the election and was sworn in, he was facing trials of money laundering charges. So he has been facing cases with the EFCC long before now. But that does not eliminate the fact that truly the federal government is trying to coerce opposition members to join their party. And it is right to say that they are weaponizing institutions such as DFCC, even the courts, that is supposed to be the last hope of the common man, to fight opposition members, to coerce them, to badger them into joining the ruling All Progressive Congress. And that is politically bad. It is ill-mannered. It means you do not even have the balls to come out and face an opposition and actually debate policies like it is supposed to be. Show us your level of competence and what you can achieve, what you have done. You want it to be a free fight where there is no fight at all. Everyone is with you, and it is more or less like a consensus, which erodes the very democracy we practice.
Stand for. All right, well said. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has dismissed Governor Bala Mohammed's claim that
Sorry.
All right, now the EFCC has dismissed Governor Bala Mohammed's claim that he and his administration are being politically persecuted. Now, the anti-graft agency described the allegations as wild and baseless, insisting that its investigations are evidence-driven and free from political interference. Now, the EFCC says cases involving Bauchi state officials are already before the courts and should be judged on legal merit, not political narrative. Now, this exchange highlights a familiar tension in Nigeria's governance, the delicate balance between enforcing accountability and maintaining public confidence in the neutrality of state institutions. Now, coming to you now, Genevieve, EFCC have come out to dismiss the claims that they were never used as a tool to, persecute people or coerce people into joining APC. I would love to have your take on that. And there's a question I asked Mr. Ugochukwu, but maybe he didn't really get the question correctly. But let me just ask you the question. The governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, is standing his ground and saying that he is never going to be defected to APC. And now we've seen Bauchi State governor saying now that he won't be defecting to APC. Now imagine a situation whereby we have people standing their grounds on ideology and what's it called, driving change through their party without having to align with the central government or the central power. How does that look in Nigeria if we are to toe that part?
Okay, I think I'll start with this question you asked me.
All right.
I think we talked about something like this yesterday in the afternoon show.
All right.
I heard Ugochukwu say that Bala Mohammed is not really an upright person. And yesterday I said it is high time P2B plays dirtier than the dirty. See, it doesn't matter if Bala Mohammed is not an upright person. The main thing is we need strong opposition party, because the plan of the ruling party now is to make Nigeria a one-party system. If we can get more opposition parties that are strong and are actually doing what they are doing. I mean, the governor of Abia State is doing amazingly well. So if we can get opposition parties that are strong and they know what they are fighting for, they have a stand, they have a common goal, it's going to at least bring back the democracy that we are seeking in Nigeria. Because as it stands now, Nigeria is not a democratic country. We don't have democracy. But if we can get more opposition parties that we keep, not just by words, because at this point, I don't believe most of these things, not just by words, by action, they are actually not going to, defect. Then, of course, I think it will do something better for Nigerians. But if there is no opposition party, the country is doomed, more or less.
All right, well said. Now, in a shocking tragedy, at least 6 people have died following a boat accident along the Ibologun water channel in Lagos State. Now, according to the Lagos State Waterways Authority, the passenger boat traveling from Ilashe Beach reportedly collided with a submerged object at night, causing it to capsized. Now, 4 passengers were rescued alive while investigations continue into the circumstances surrounding the incident. Now, the tragedy has renewed concerns over water transport safety, particularly the enforcement of regulations restricting night travel and the availability of life-saving equipment on commercial boats. Authorities are urging stricter compliance with safety guidelines to prevent further or future loss of lives. Let's take a look at the video. What a tragic event. Now, it has been reported that about 6 people have died and some people have been saved and taken to the hospital. But Sharon, imagine beginning the year with this terrible incident or accident, or rather news. Let me have your take shortly on that. Sharon, are you there? All right, Ugochukwu, let me have your take on that. All right, Genevieve, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Let me have your take on the video we just watched right now.
It's obviously a very tragic news. I mean, most of these people have planned their life, planned, oh, my 2026 resolution, and then all of a sudden they just die. And I feel like, I don't know, but I want to say that it's part of infrastructural problems that we are facing, because most of these lagoons, I've seen them on videos, how unkept, dirty, a lot of things that are being synced inside there. These are one of the problems that cause all these accidents. If the government, I'm just tired. They should look properly into all this and get their acts right. At least it's not that accidents won't happen. They do happen, just all out of the knowing. But the things that are going to make them more prominent, more like they occur every time, they should look into it. They should repair the roads. They should repair the railways, repair the lagoons, fix the water drainage systems. Let things go freely. Let it be better. Let's crop and reduce all these unforeseen events. And may the souls of these departed ones rest in peace.
Amen. May their souls rest in the bosom of the Lord. All right, this is where we're going to call it a wrap on our Today Hot right here on Active Citizen. Thank you so much for watching. Till we see you on Monday for more political updates. Still have a lovely weekend.